Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It's Wednesday, October 13th, 2021. Do you know what today was or is still? It's one of those things that I talk about all the time that's impossible to make up. You can't do it. I want to put a whole bunch of stuff together here for you. I was writing in my little book, right over there, all day. Let's start off with this. So this morning, as I covered, we got three pieces of really bad economic news. Let's just go over that. Consumer prices rise more than expected last month. Imagine my surprise. Year over year, people are earning less money, and mortgage demand is cratering. Now, those three things, of course, were not enough to cause this market to sell off. Oh, no. So today, this market, the Dow Jones Industrial Average finished flat. Gains for both the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Lots of interesting things going on here, people. We heard from the Fed today, the minutes. And, let's focus on that real quick. So apparently, you're going to love this part. You're going to love it. The Federal Reserve says it appears that it's now, are you ready for the word, appropriate. They love that word. It makes me want to vomit when I hear that word. So the Fed is saying it is now appropriate for them to be tapering as soon as next month or the month after that. Now, let's focus for a moment. What did the dollar do today? What did the 10-year yield do today after this was announced by the Federal Reserve? Well, the dollar got slammed, and the 10-year yield came down. If, for example, the market really believed that the Fed was going to taper or do anything meaningful to the debt market here, you would see a knee-jerk higher in the dollar. Instead, it cratered. And with regard to the debt market, well, you would see a knee-jerk higher in the 10-year yield. Didn't happen. So the market is going, ha, 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 laughing. Okay. Here's the situation, people, and I've been covering this to the point of nauseum lately. Number one, the Fed can say whatever they want. It's actions. Okay, it's what they actually do. We've been here before. The Fed said they were going to stop purchasing assets years ago. Never stopped, not even for a nanosecond. And even if, as I've been explaining lately, the Fed were to do a token taper, it's not going to make any difference at all whatsoever to this hyperinflating debt issue that we have, this off the Richter scale inflation issue that we have. I want to talk about that too. It won't make any difference. And you can see the immediate reaction in the market, looking at the dollar, looking at the 10-year yield, looking at the MMRI, which actually came down, and the stock market here that despite abysmal economic news yet again, don't sell off. It does not sell off because the market realizes, as well as I do and you do, that the Fed will continue to buy it all, even if they token taper or whatever they're going to do. It's not going to stop the hyperinflating debt bubble, and it will in no way stop surging inflation, period, the end. Gold and silver today, people, are you watching this? What an astounding turnaround. I mean, we were mixed this morning, but we finished higher across the board, especially silver. Gold and silver both did phenomenal. Cryptocurrencies higher. Again, why? On the back of what the Fed is saying. The markets just don't buy it. The market don't buy that the Fed's going to do a damn thing meaningful. Why? Well, the Fed has no interest in it. They have no vested interest at all in tapering or anything else in any meaningful way. The Fed is determined to buy it all, to be the lender and buyer of last resort as our economy free falls. Are you listening to the mainstream media? They are pushing the narrative that the consumer is in some kind of really strong place. The consumer is doing so well. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Let's talk more about that. So this is what we found out. Okay, building off of consumer prices are rising more than expected. We are now at a 30-year high with regard to consumer prices, 30-year high. And I can tell you this, this is a joke. We're going to be going way, 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 way worse than that. Forget about it. And we got a warning today from the food giant Kraft Heinz. Listen to what they're saying. I want you to pay attention to the wording here. It says Kraft Heinz. People, look at this, must, look what I underlined, must get used to paying more for food. Well, really, food prices, people, are soaring. I don't have to tell you that because you shop. It's utterly, utterly insane. I'm going to be jumping around a little bit. So we heard from another freak today, Larry Summers. The man's a freak, okay, of the highest possible order. I think we all know that. And he said this is a quote, "The Fed is behind the curve on trying to combat inflation." This is garbage. The Fed is doing exactly what it has planned to do. How many years have I been explaining to you that the Fed's goal is to inflate, and then inflate some more? Then you got this former Treasury Secretary here, Larry Summers, trying to con you into the Fed here. They're behind the curve. Nonsense. The Fed is light years, years and years, decades ahead of everything else. Again, what they're doing now has been planned years ago, probably more than a decade. And that's the way it works with the Federal Reserve. We are just in the side effect of what the Fed has set in motion from a long time ago. The Fed is in full control. Anybody who's trying to sell you the nonsense that the Fed is losing control has no idea as to what they're looking at. They have no idea how the markets work at all. Okay? Period, the end. So anyway, it's a joke here when you hear this kind of stuff. Absolutely. I've explained to all of you for a very, very long time that we can expect a crisis of the currency. And I think we're seeing some of that right now. It's quite obvious. The dollar losing its purchasing power extremely rapidly, prices soaring. And this is all by design. Again, the Fed wants to issue in a new system. Something I've explained to you for a very, very long time. A new system is coming. But first, this one here has got to go by the way of the dodo bird. Don't you all know that? I hope so. So anyway, so Kraft Heinz, you better get used to paying more for food because we got you by the you-know-what. Yeah, that's what they got you by. Anyway, let us move forward here. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. So obviously, we're in some kind of an energy crisis, as you all know that. Now, this is what energy companies are telling people right now. They're saying here, be ready to be paying double-digit % gains for your energy over the winter. Oh, imagine my shock there. So at least they're telling us, energy prices are about to get a lot worse. I mean, does that deserve a duh? Maybe even another duh? I would have to say so, people. I already discussed this about the Fed possibly tapering in a month. It may be appropriate. Look, I even outlined it. Appropriate. They love that word. They absolutely love that word. People's rents are seeing their biggest jump higher in 20 years. Now let me just ask you real quick. I just covered a whole bunch of things with you. If you are a follower of this blog for any length of time, how much of what I just told you is a shock to you? Is a surprise to you? Zero. You knew all of this was coming, and I'm telling you right here and right now, you have not seen anything yet, people. Nothing. This is all going to get monumentally worse moving forward. Again, it's not transitory. We've been lied to. We've been told every untruth imaginable by the Federal Reserve, and there will be no one held to account. I want you to realize that not one of our representatives that care so much about us is going to do anything about it because they are powerless. The Fed is the government. Period. It's so disgusting. It really is so revoltingly horrible to me. But again, none of this is a surprise at all. Zero. I don't care what part of this video that I just did you want to look at. None of it is a shock to you. None of it is a surprise to you, because I've been explaining this for I don't know how long. But it's all happening right freaking now. It's just so out of control. I wrote down a lot more stuff here, people, but I really just can't cover it all. It's out of control. Anyway, so again, despite every reason to, okay, the stock market does not sell off. Round after round of bad economic news, it doesn't matter, because the market realizes, even after the Fed came out today saying they're going to taper sometime soon, next month, month after that, look what happened to the dollar. Down. 10-year yield, lower. Stocks did nothing. The market's laughing it off. It's laughing it off because the Fed will not, mark my words, do anything meaningful here. They're still going to be buying assets in record amounts. They're still going to be running their inflation creation machine, people. The Fed will continue to issue debt through one door and buy it back through another. There's no end in sight here. Okay, that's another thing that I'm wondering why. Maybe you can tell me, because maybe it's above my pay grade. I don't know. Tell me why one of our so-called loving and caring representatives don't call the Fed to account. Mr. Fed Yellowstone Powell, tell me, sir, how is this inflation creation machine good for everyone? Explain this to me. You're worried about inflation, but keep hearing about it. Apparently it's surging. 30-year high with regard to consumer prices, rent soaring, food prices, getting warnings from food giants like Kraft Heinz saying, you better get used to paying more for food. You're screwed. Yeah. Are you surprised? Look, I told all of you a new set of rules was coming. A new paradigm is here. I said it was coming, and here it is. So again, no surprise to you people. Anyway, people, with that said, I'm going to let you all go. Getting kind of long, this video, and I'm getting kind of like heated over here. I'm starting to sweat. Love you a lot. Let me know what you think. I promise to read the comments. What I commented on here. What do you think? Are you surprised? Shocked? You can't believe that all this is happening right now? Or did you fully expect it? And do you expect, again, I keep asking the same question, when is one of our so-called representatives that are on our side going to hold the Federal Reserve to account for the lies, the untruths that they continue to spread? People, this is the most corrupt, evil, despicable, vomitous, you know I love that word, organization in the world. There's nothing that comes close to this. Insider traders here at the Fed. But it don't matter, because they are untouchable. See you in the morning.